Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Virgin Authors live Facebook show. We are three friends bonded by our love of writing, struggling to navigate the publishing world. This episode is really exciting for us. It is our first program in our new collaboration with the new publishing house, Zibby Books. Yay. My name is Mandy McGuire, and I am a Virgin author.
Hey, Mandy, I'm Jana Vandelar, and I'm a Virgin author as well.
Hi, I'm Lissa, and I would love to introduce our guest. Alisha is the author of a coming of middle age story, My What If Year, 4 internships, 3 countries, 2 kids, and 1 life-changing misadventure. She's a Cuban American born and raised in Miami who spent her adult life in New York and London and is currently based in Scotland. Alisha's book will be released February 7th and is available for pre-order now. And we're so excited. This is the first, there it is, My What If Year. Yay! This is the first book from Zibby's publishing house. So welcome to the show. Thanks for being with us, Alisha.
Thank you so much for having me. It is 11 o'clock at night here, so I was thinking that I needed a drink while doing this, but then I thought maybe it could be a virgin drink. I don't know. So anyway, in the end, I've just got water. We're all fine. I've just got water.
No, we're so glad you're here. And we started off with drinks, and then slowly we've kind of same thing. We've learned
tea.
I don't know.
We always want to do the drinks, but we just go back to our basics.
I'm just so excited to be here and meet you. Thank you for, especially this late. Thank you so much.
It is such a pleasure. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. And I already feel like I know you even after just being on 10 minutes of pre-show chat. So I'm really excited for this conversation.
Yeah, you guys, she's a normal person. I don't know where she is on my screen here, but Alicia's a normal. She's so nice. Okay, go ahead, girls.
And Alisha just received that pre-order copy of her book today.
Congratulations. I missed that part. I've been reading it on Goodreads, or what is it through?
NetGalley.
NetGalley, sorry.
It's almost definitely coming to bed with me tonight after this.
I mean, you should just be holding it up the whole time. We don't even really need to see. Well, you're obviously beautiful, but yeah.
You should have like a little chair for it right next to you.
I mean, hat on it, a little drink for it. No, congratulations. That's huge.
Thank you so much.
Well, so I have a question for you. So your new book talks about how you left your job as in your own company as the CEO, and you took some unpaid internships. You were obviously going through some major work, maybe changes or analysis or personal analysis. But what I connected with in that process was that you felt nervous asking for internships. You felt nervous when you were starting internships. Yeah. And, you described it as that you were filled with the emotions of unknowing. And that just really touched me. And I thought, you're an experienced executive. Kind of talk us through, like, why do you think you were nervous trying this grand experience of trying new internships around other industries?
I love that. I love that question because, just tonight I went to an acting workshop. I've never acted in my life. I'm probably never going to act. Let's just put that out there. But I am extremely committed at this moment as a result of this project and this book to recapturing that feeling constantly of putting myself in situations where I don't know what I'm doing, where I am a little bit nervous, where I feel a bit uncomfortable. And it's opened up all of these possibilities in my life. But, back before I started this project, when I just had the idea for the internships, I think I just felt very comfortable. Everything was really comfortable. I knew what I was doing with my job. I felt like I'd hit a stride professionally. I felt like I was doing a lot of the same things. I felt like, everything was fine. And something was missing, and I could not for the life of me put my finger on what it was and why I was feeling this way. And then of course I felt horribly guilty that I wasn't just sitting there being really, really happy for everything I had accomplished and achieved. And so when I had this idea, I was so nervous. I was nervous at every single step of the process. I'm still nervous now that it's a book and I'm going out and talking about it every time I get on a call, hence the need to have a drink at 11 o'clock that I didn't do tonight.
And I'm with you. I'll have it with you.
But it was, it was after so long of having built up, the knowledge, the expertise to know what I was doing, to all of a sudden put myself in these situations where I knew nothing, where people would talk about words and I did not know the definitions of them. And they were throwing around jargon and French words when I was working in the art world and theater words when I was working in the theater world. And I had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing. And I was scared that people were going to reject me. That was ideally good preparation for then writing, because you get rejected all the time in writing. So that was probably a good setup. But I was just at every step, it just felt, if I really sat and thought about it, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? This is pretty nuts. But it's also really exciting.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but do you think it's because you wanted it so badly too, deep down? Like,
Yes.
Before everything was kind of right, you have it, but these are like this new venture, something that you truly like. That's why I am with my book. It's like, it almost scares me more, that kind of, I was wondering if you had that too. Totally.
Yeah. And also that, I had spent most of my academic and professional life really leaning into this very strategic, analytic, left brain part of what I did. I was the practical one and the organizing one. That was my personal brand. That was my MO. And I found myself really drawn to these really creative activities the theater or art.
Were you talking about like a fear of success almost?
Well, these are like your dreams, right, Alisha? I mean, these are your 4 things that, from what I had read in that beginning, what I picked up was that these are like to me, I would love to meet Sophia Loren, if you're on there, Sophia, or I know that's my age, but and that whole thing would make me, well, in my book, it's very, that is the one thing that will shut me down a little bit, or I question it, or I'm like way questioning more than I would do anything else in my life. And I guess I was interpreting it to me that because I want it so bad.
I think that's right. And I think it's extremely terrifying to want something so badly and then really go for it, because then if you don't get it, it can feel crushing. But actually, I felt like so many other things opened up along the way that I'm so grateful that I put myself out there. But for sure, that was the reason why I hadn't done a lot of those things before.
Plus, I mean, it'd be more crushing if you didn't do it. So, and then really quick, another quick question is, did you, I have this in the back of my mind, did you do these things, or did it give you the bravery to do it by knowing that at least I can write a book about it? Did you, I mean, not like at least, because you know how much work it is now, but at the time, those things were huge. Yeah.
And also touch too. I mean, you have the privilege that you still had your company, right? Like a lot of people, maybe that's what holds them back from taking some of those risks, is they don't really have that fallback. Absolutely. And I think I took like the safest possible version of what was a very big risk, right? So I'm a risk averse person. I am not someone who goes and jumps off of buildings. And when it comes to real risks, I don't like them. So, I had my company, I knew I could go back. I was still checking in and doing emails and making sure all of that was happening around my internships. It seems like it was a huge pivot, but actually it just kind of was real slow, a few degrees at a time, until I finally turned around and I was at 180. But your question about, knowing I could have a book project, the book was never going to be the thing. The thing was the internships. Okay. And a friend of mine, my 2 best friends, Laura and Rebecca, in the kind of initial scene of the book when we're all drinking, then we're at breakfast the next day, as an offhand comment, one of them was like, maybe you should write a book about this.
And I was that's how I picked that up. Yeah, because I remember
whatever.
that.
Okay, that sounds fun. But gradually it became a really convenient excuse to tell people, if I was well, I'm going to New York for a month, I'm going to go shadow some Broadway shows I'm not going to get paid, and I don't really have a job, and I'm leaving my family and kids behind for half of that period, but it's okay because there's a project at the end of it. I'm gonna write a book about it. And then people would be oh, that's normal. That's what a great thing to do. Whereas the idea of just pursuing that for my own personal growth or journey, that seemed very strange to people. But once I said, oh, maybe I'll write a book about it, then all of a sudden it became more palatable.
Interesting.
I can relate in a very small way because I mean, I have always kind of sought that feeling of being uncomfortable, you know, of learning something new, of getting outside my comfort zone. And I would do these things deliberately. Okay, so for instance, I many years ago learned to line dance, right? Country line dancing. And I freaking loved it. And there was a group of us, we'd meet every Saturday morning and we'd learn a new dance. There was this gal who would teach us. And I feel like when I get in the rhythm of doing something and I do it on a regular basis, I start becoming creative about it. So I decided I was going to make up a new line dance to this new song that came out. And I did.
Overachiever.
So I made up this dance and I went to our usual club and I asked the DJ, I said, hey, I made up this dance. Can I have some time to teach it to everybody tonight? And he says, sure. So I have my little pieces of paper that have all the instructions and I pass them out to everybody. And I go out there to teach this thing. And I open my mouth and I cannot remember the first 2 steps of the dance. I mean, I am so terrified that it just all flies out of my head. So I kind of go, okay, so did everybody get one of these? And I grab the paper and I start reading how it starts, right? And at the end of it, I come off the stage and my husband says, but why? Why would you do that to yourself? And it's hard to explain to people that I just wanted to grow.
Yeah. And people don't accept that very well. And I have to read 2 lines that were my favorite. That there are more at the beginning, but one she wrote in her book, I was an aggressive people pleaser. Look at me, I'm Sandra D, which I talked about before, because, you know, how can you leave? How can you give all this? And, you know, that was perfect for what you were just saying. And also you said, fortunately, I was not a person who was easily discouraged. I got into Harvard, but I had applied to a bunch of other schools in case I wasn't accepted. I made sure I never had less than 2 dozen rolls of toilet paper in my house. So I would never be left high and not dry. I'm like, this book is really fun, you guys. So you have to listen to it's great. So anyway, that kind of applies to your backup to your, you know, you're like, you know, you have some backups, but yeah, you're going for it. And that's huge. You know, I'm excited for you. I'm proud. I mean, I know you have to be, I didn't get to finish like which one you actually did. So I have to finish it up because
no spoiler.
Holidays. I'm excited. It's a very good book, everybody. And these are some of the key lines.
Thank you so much. That means so much. Thank you.
No, it's
So
really
everything about doing the book was still yet more stretching into something you were unfamiliar with.
Absolutely.
I mean, the book itself, we can't even comprehend the book editing. I mean, publishing, you know, writing that and that, but you did the whole actions. So go ahead. Yeah, sorry. I tend to get excited.
Did you have a favorite?
I mean, I loved them all. I love them all. There is no way that my experience on Broadway, I don't take to my grave as like some of the greatest 2 days of my entire life, just because that was truly like something I had only dreamt about. I still sometimes think, I like emailed a casting agent for theater here in Scotland like 2 weeks ago. I was like, hey, would you be interested in an unpaid intern? I have internship experience.
You're a pro.
At least she very kindly wrote me back and declined. But that was a true dream. Like when you talk about dreams, you know, that was a dream for me. But all of them were so wonderful in their own ways. And I just got back from New Year's on the Isle of Skye. I spent a lot of time at Kinloch Lodge, which was one of my internships that I did in the book. It's the 4th one, so you may not have gotten there yet. But you know, and I keep being like, guys, do you want me to come back in for like another shift in the restaurant? And no surprise, they keep saying no. But I loved that. I loved kind of being part of hospitality. And it says I'm the host now. Is that okay?
Yeah. Well, you guys just to explain to the outside world, Lisa's up in, Mandy's up in Seattle, and they're getting all those heavy winds. So we're going to keep on going at Bravo through this. And also I didn't mean to interrupt you, but to explain to the people, because I've had a couple questions. They said, so basically, Alisha spent like, she took a whole year off and she did 4 different internships that she had to beg and borrow to work for them for free. Basically, she took off this high-powered job, and one of them was on Broadway. One was doing online fitness during the pandemic, which I never would have volunteered for that, and in the art world, and the 4th one was in the hotel industry. And so basically,
Correct.
that's what Alyssa had asked. What was your, I guess, most passion, which was hard for you to answer, you're saying. So I didn't mean to interrupt, but just to kind of wrap it up for the other people out there. So
Thank you. No, that's a perfect summary. You can come and do this with me on all of this, all these book conversations that I'm doing.
Mandy had it all organized, but I'm like, hey, yeah, and to tie that in, that's what we were going to ask you, or explain to people. So you didn't really have a favorite, as you're saying.
I love, they were all so special. I would go back and do every single one again in a heartbeat, including online fitness, which, yeah, even that.
Which one was the most fun then, if you don't have a favorite?
I had so much fun doing the art internship. Part of it was that it was the period between the 2 UK lockdowns. So even just being out of the house felt like this like glorious freedom. So everything felt amazing. Every single task I had to do felt great. But art was a field that I almost went into it. I talk about it as like my sliding doors moment, but that was that could have been my, true profession. I have a minor in art history, and then I didn't go in that direction. So actually being able to experience that as a job and be part of it, and going into Sotheby's to pick up paintings and going to gallery openings. I mean, it was like extraordinary. It was so much fun at a time when we had just been inside and so lonely for so many months that it felt everything, every single thing was a joy about that internship.
Yeah, that would totally boggle me, because that whole world is, but it's so cool that you love that. That's so neat.
Okay, so we're a little more than halfway through, and we want to do something fun with you. We call it a lightning round. So we lost Mandy, but Jana and I are going to take turns asking you questions.
We get more questions that way.
Don't think about it too much. Just okay. So Jana, why don't you go first?
I'll start. Do you have any pets that are with you when you write this? When you wrote your little book here, the big book?
Yes, I have a French bulldog. Her name is Kira. She is 7 years old.
Aww.
She's a loud snorer, but I don't love working in silence when I write. So actually, it's really good to have her around. She's always with me when I write, actually. She's always with me most of the time, but she's definitely with me, always snoring when I'm writing.
That's so cute, because I love dogs. So, and Lissa just got a new puppy. So, okay.
Yeah.
So a French, does she speak French?
Oui. Parlez français?
So what I didn't explain, these questions are not necessarily about the book. It's just so that our listeners can get to know you a little bit better.
Love it.
Okay.
Throw them at me. I love
it. Book signings.
I'm back.
I don't know if you've done it. Oh, yay, Mandy's back.
Yeah, we missed you though, but yeah.
We just started. So after mine, we'll go back to your first one. Okay. So I don't think you've done any of them yet, because you just got your first copy of your first book, but book signings, inspiring or terrifying?
I love your book.
Okay, so I have the worst handwriting, truly the worst. My children make fun of my handwriting, like that's how really bad it is. So I don't know how I'm going to cope with like the actual physical signing part, but the being in person with people at events, I cannot wait. I'm going on a 6-city book tour that is mostly self-organized, because I was like, of course I'm going on. No, the Zibby Books team has been amazing, but I was like, I called all of my friends. The place in New Orleans is my best friend owns a hotel there. She's hosting an event for me there. We've got this kind of games place in Miami that's owned by these really good friends of my dad's. My uncle is hosting a house concert for me in Houston. So
are you coming to Denver?
Not this trip, but maybe next one. Don't worry.
I'm going to watch for you.
Yes, but like inspire, like I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
I'm going to say something really quick about this, because I'm a big fan of Jana Ivanovic, and she said, I wish I would have just shortened my name or made a name. I can't think of what they were called, but anyway, because yours is long, so you need to like start out practice with A.
But my signature is like an A, an M, and then a Z. It's like not even my name. It's just that's what it is. So
We just
apologies
love-
in advance to anybody who has to see my chicken
No,
scratch on
but
their
you'll
book.
be great. And you guys, you can tell how fun she is. So I'm excited to be there. And okay, so let's
Okay,
see.
Jenny, you
Mandy,
go.
I'll go until Mandy gets back on. What is your general schedule for a typical day of writing when you sat down and wrote this book? What is your general
So when I wrote my What If year, it was still like very much pandemic time. So I would do these like very intense periods of writing where I would write for many, many hours at a time. Like I would lock myself in a room on a Saturday. I would abandon the kids. I would abandon my husband. Someone would bring me like a tray of food in the middle of the day. And I would just like really be into it. I do feel like I have to focus when I write. I'm not a person who can just like fit in half an hour here, half an hour there. Like I need a chunk of time. And I'm most productive in the mornings, even though I'm not really a morning person. So on like a normal day now, I'll get up, get the kids off to school, have at least 2 coffees, possibly 3. And then I may work out, but I feel like just saying that means people are gonna be like, do you really? And I'm like,
I'm impressed. Hey, I wouldn't even say it. So you're a step ahead right there.
quick 30 minutes in the morning, because if not, I won't do it. And then I will write for as long as I can kind of manage, basically, until I need to do something else. And that's how I prefer to write, like in big
Yeah.
kind of.
Oh, that's interesting.
And how old are your kids?
They are twins. They are 11 years old now. They just turned 11.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
Mandy, are you ready to
Okay,
finally
Mandy,
answer your question?
go.
I am. What is your favorite drink? Coffee, tea, cocktail? What do you got?
Coffee. I give everything else up. I would
Really?
give everything else up. Semi-skim cappuccino. I mean, I love a martini. Like, I'm a fan of sweet, girly pink drinks. There's gonna be a lot of those on my book tour, but I'm not sure I could survive without coffee for very long. Like, I've been drinking coffee since I was like 15 years old
You like a
without
black or
stop.
just the cream? And you said with
I like it. Well, like when I was younger, I'd have like in Miami, I'd have a café con leche. So like very sugary, very sweet, very milky.
Yeah,
Now,
it's good.
slightly less sugary, but I still prefer a cappuccino or something like that.
Very
A little bit
cool.
of sugar.
Okay, I'm going to ask another one.
Oh,
So
okay,
who's going with you on your book tour?
Ooh, good
Um,
one.
An entourage of people, because everyone's excited because it's my first book. Oh my God. And like, maybe my only book, I hope not, but it could be. So my husband and my kids are flying over with me from Scotland. My parents are coming up from Miami, and they're going on like 3/4 of the tour with me. My parents are doing 4 out of the 6 cities. And then I've got one of my best friends from London is flying over for the New York part. I'm calling in everybody. I'm like, guys, I haven't seen you in a while. Come on book tour. Let's have a good time.
You have to leave.
And I'm
love
pretty
that.
sure
That's brilliant.
the Zibby Books team is going to join me for most stops, which I can't wait. They are so lovely, and I cannot wait to have them with me too.
Oh, yay. Okay, so here's a question that has sort of broken all of our hearts and occasionally our spirits. Have you ever lost a chunk of work due to just a technical glitch with your computer or something?
Actually, I have, but it
And
wasn't.
how did you deal with it?
Well, I think I was in Florida, and I could not get it to work. And I think I almost threw my computer like in a pool. Actually, it was really stressful. And it transpired. I found out maybe a few weeks later that I hadn't actually lost the work, but that it was like a syncing issue with my Dropbox and my computer. But by that point, I had rewritten a lot of what I had already wrote. I mean, heartbreaking, but a lot of times it's better. A lot of times it's better. I hate that about writing. I hate that because I like to be done with things. So I hate that every time I go back in, it ends up better than the last time for the most part. Because I just want it to be like, sometimes I just want it to be done. But I begrudgingly admit that like the more time I spend on something, the better it is. So, but no, that's just I'm not going to curse on this episode, but really unfortunate thing to happen. And I feel for you guys. It is devastating when that happens, truly.
Okay, so on the Eat, Pray, Love, which is somewhat kind of a not, but what actor or actress would you want to play in a movie? Because wasn't Julia Robertson in the Eat, Pray, Love? So who would you want to be in the movie for this book? Me?
Yeah.
I would love to. I don't. Well, forget what I was saying. I could do the Broadway part.
I mean, I would love to have like an amazing Latina actress like America Ferrera or Cristela Alonso, both of whom I love. But I love Mindy Kaling, and I just would, I mean, what an honor. Can you imagine having Mindy Kaling play you in a movie? I mean, that's like so great.
I could see her doing that. I could see all those. They're all strong, but yeah.
Mindy, are you watching? Call me.
Yeah,
Call me.
Mindy, come on, big talk.
We'll reach out to her. We'll send her the video for sure.
Perfect.
Okay, so who inspires you?
God, so many people. I'm really inspired by my mother. I think my mother is just she's just probably the kindest person I've ever met, I think. And she is so generous and open-hearted with everybody. She's so loving and she's so selfless. And she really does inspire me because I'm not always a selfless person. So oftentimes I think, God, I should be more like my mother. But she really does inspire me. I know it's like kind of cliche, my mommy, but like, yeah, I think I probably put her.
Mother, I think, God bless you. Really quick, I know I'm interrupting you, Alyssa, but Stacy is one of our viewers right now, and for the virgin authors out there, hi, Stace. What was the most stressful part about setting up your book tour to set it up? Because we're all virgins, and give us.
Totally.
And Stacy has a newly released book as well.
Yeah,
congratulations, Stacy. Do you know what? I mean, I haven't gone yet. So I feel like, I'll tell you what, I'm pre-selling a lot of tickets, which takes away a lot of the stress of worrying nobody's going to show up.
Wait. Tickets? What? Explain this.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to like readings at bookstores. I think I'm only doing that once, but the book tour is supposed to be basically like an extended party to celebrate the book. So everything that we're doing has another activity alongside it, which to an audience of authors, I will say, was very intentional on my part, because I don't know who's going to want to show up to listen to me read this book, but I know a lot of people who want to come to this beautiful church space in New Orleans right before Mardi Gras and go to a headdress making workshop with New Orleans's like foremost textile artist who runs these all the time. And we've got a DJ and we've got mimosas, and me and my book are also going to be there, but like, I'm trying to get other people into the what if circle
event.
So all of the activities it's not really a traditional book tour, I would say. So like I said, in Houston, there's a concert and like drinks. It's like a nighttime thing. In Miami, it's a family fun day. So for the cost of your ticket, you get 2 free laser tag or virtual reality games and a copy of the book. And there's going to be a barbecue, and there's going to be more drinks and crafting and all sorts of stuff. There's a day we're doing a dance club
because
New York.
I mean, anything, absolutely anything is in keeping with your book, which is about go try
pretty
something.
Much.
So,
Exactly.
That
is the trend now in book signings. That is the trend.
I never heard of it, so I'm really excited.
I'm very glad to be trendsetter, but that's the kind of stuff I would want to go to. Do you know what I mean? Like so I plan things that I would want to go to. So to answer Stacy's question, because it's ticketed, I will at least know roughly how many people are going to be there. So I don't have that real fear, which I think would be my fear that nobody would show up.
Right.
But I think the other thing that's been stressful is because I kind of had this vision, like I wanted to go on tour. This is like our big February, my kids are off of school, like we're all going on vacation. This is what I'm doing, to go and celebrate this with my friends and family and people around the country. I have really asked a lot of friends for a lot of favors, not distinct from my internship process where I asked a lot of friends for a lot of favors. And that part feels stressful. I don't like asking people for things. Doesn't come naturally to me. I do it because I know that that's how you get stuff done, and I don't mind when people ask me for things, but that's definitely been the most stressful part, calling up friends and being like, hey, would you mind if we did this thing in your space, and would that be okay? And of course everybody has been like amazing, and
great.
So
it's fun. It's a totally different thing, and you're like the stud. I would do it. I don't even really officially know you except for this interview. Come to Winter Park. It's really cool.
Okay.
Hey, Sandy's on too. Hi, Sandy. We just wanted to give it a shout out because a good person we met up in Kauai. So anyway, okay. So
we are out of time. It went so fast, Alisha. We so appreciate you being here. Would you, before we go, tell everyone how to pre-order your book?
I'm just going to hold it up for you one more time because I have it right here. So the book is my What If Year. You can pre-order it anywhere books are sold. Bookshop.org is a great way to support your local independent bookstore. It's also on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and you can check out my website, which is alishafmiranda.com. Also for lots of details about all these fun book tour parties I'm going to be having. If you want to come by, I would love to see all of you there. And thank you
give
so
us
much.
the cities real quick.
Oh, okay. So New York, Miami, New Orleans, Houston, LA, and Seattle.
Woo! And hold up your book
Fantastic.
really quick again, because I'm doing a screenshot. One more time, that beautiful book. Yeah.
And I am waiting for more information on your website about Seattle because it doesn't have it on there yet.
I know. I'm on. Don't worry. I'm on it. Everyone. Christmas and New Year's got in the way of me continuing to play. But yes, it's happening. It's happening. But like this is. I have 3 friends in Seattle who are like organizing my Seattle stuff for me because I love
This
them.
is a true virgin author, you guys. Look how great she is. She's amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
We're so happy to have you.
We all
Thank you for
aspire
coming.
to be you.
We are.
So,
But you know what? Thank you. I love that you have this group. I wish I had found you before I kind of got to this stage because there are so many lonely moments in this process. And I love talking to other people who are in the same place and just trying to be creative and get their story out there. And like I was you, and now I've got a book out. So, keep it up.
You're going to have even more challenges when you have Ferrara, I can never pronounce her name, be your star. So you can come back on and say, okay, when she's my star, how does it feel to have her be your star in your book? And so there's stages everywhere, every part of writing.
Great. I'll be back.
There's virginal stages. So we'll have you back when you get the movie rights, right?
Amazing.
and that'll be maybe our regular time. You can find us here on Facebook Live every third Thursday at 7 o'clock Pacific. Sorry, I'm in a different time zone, so it's hard to. But as we said at the beginning of the hour, Alisha is our very first guest with our new collaboration with Zibby Books, and we will be doing one of these every month as the books are released. So, so watch for.
Andrea, Women Are the Future's Futures.
Dates on
Like square dancing.
Yeah, the book for next,
authors.com. There we go.
the book for next month, I read the prologue last night. It's just a short prologue and I am totally hooked. I'm really excited about the
Yeah,
next
Zibby's books has got
It is
obviously got
so
great people.
good.
So
book. Is it
Yeah.
good?
They
I'm
are
so excited.
true. They're so good. Like I'm so excited for you guys getting to do these with all of the other authors. They are amazing. So you're going to love it.
Oh, yay.
well, thanks for being our first, really, again, virgin.
Thank you so much for coming today. We really
Thank
appreciate
you guys.
So good to
Thanks
meet
Happy
you.
New Year.
for
Thanks.
tuning in.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.